Good afternoon. We're LIDA, an innovation agency formed by a multidisciplinary team. Our process of group throughout this project has been to discover, think, imagine, and do. And so we are loyal to our style. This is how we decided to structure our presentation. Challenge 3.0 was the challenge we chose. The question we were presented with was the following. How might we support venture capitalists from Silicon Valley make sense of the young tech startup culture in Barcelona so they can make the best decision for their portfolio? During our first phase, we decided to focus on understanding the context of our challenge. Therefore, we decided to look into Barcelona's tech scene and its ecosystem. Through our preliminary research, we realized Barcelona is quickly rising as a European startup capital due to a vibrant entrepreneurial atmosphere, and consequently is overcrowded with new companies. Because of this, venture capitalists struggle to find interesting startups to invest. Also, most venture capitalists are not local, which make it more difficult for them to understand and navigate through the local ecosystem. Lina voiced this issue quite clearly when she expressed, "The problem is finding the companies, filtering through all the noise, and getting to those startups that really are opportunities from an investment point of view. Therefore, we center our whole investigation in this idea." Once we had determined the context and came across with our first main issue, we worked on defining our persona and understanding their main points when it comes to their journey when finding where to invest. When analyzing our segment, we found out our segment was very specific. First of all, we had to keep in mind that venture capitalists are usually from abroad, very busy with very little time to waste, very tech savvy with an average age of 35 years old. They are highly educated, they're in the know how. They know the consumer trends, especially in the technological aspects. They can be described as open minded, visionaries with a special intuition for what's next. From all this, solving the problem of discovering new startups came through the most urgent need, so we asked ourselves, how do we, as young adults, meet new people? Tinder. And as controversial as it might sound, we decided to take Tinder idea as benchmark and work on improving it so it would fulfill the needs of venture capitalists when it comes to finding and filtering startups in Barcelona. To better understand our persona challenges, we undertook a second round of research aimed to determine what was their process when finding new startups. Doing so helped us analyze and understand our customer segment frustration regarding their research process and consequently why she relied on referrals. Highlighted in red are the pain points of the journey venture capitalists current follows. Taking all we had seen throughout our research, we realized our challenge was more complicated than when we had first anticipated. Now, we trying to ideate the right product, the right fit for our customer segment. Our main goal was to develop a comprehensive experience, product, service that allows venture capitalists from Silicon Valley to make the informed investments decision in regarding to Barcelona's based startup by fulfilling our customer needs. To facilitate the discovery of interesting startups that are worth investing in, to gain deep knowledge on Barcelona's startup scene, to easily comply the relevant information needed to assess an investment. How do we create into more concrete actions? As we said before, we got our inspiration from the app Tinder, using some of Tinder's characteristics and adapting them to our idea. Our main difference is that our app will facilitate connections between investors looking for startups and startups looking for investors, giving them a sneak peek on a startup business. Also, investors can choose to request more information, contact a startup, and even arrange a meeting with them. To make the research engine more useful, they can also adjust their search according to their needs and wants. Our app not only will highly facilitate the discovery of startups, but it will also help investors gather information of the startup they're interested in, as well as help startups know more about who is going to invest in their business. This is because we want to make sure this app is your go-to place for everything investors and startup related, by providing all the necessary tools to connect startups and investors. Our app doesn't end here. We also want to make our approach more comprehensive. We will slowly rule out different app features. The event, discovery your city startup scenes, keep e-learning as a way to widen our offerings. We have designed the app so it can easily be scaled up to include other cities in or outside of Spain. And at the end of our day, our ambition is not only to help venture capitalists make sense of Barcelona's startup scene, but also that are rising cities such as Malaga or Edimburgo, to name a few. With this app, we want to show that it's important to make possible the impossible. Thank you so much.